Hi friends, well this morning a good pastor friend sent to me a video, the video message from Boris Johnson over the weekend, and I haven't had time to see it because we've been so busy with our meetings here, but when I watched it, it made my blood boil. It made my blood boil. It made my blood boil. Because what I said would happen at the beginning of this crisis is happening right now. Using the church as centres to roll out their plan. To roll out their plan, and the end result is the passport certificate. And he had the audacity to use the words of Jesus to placate the church, and to get them all thinking, wow, isn't it good, our Christian leader proclaiming the message of Christianity. No friends, he is a deceiver, and he's using the words of Jesus. He's using Christianity to make Christians believe that somehow he's on their side. No friends, he's not. He needs the church. They need the church. The globalists need to make the church impotent. Why do you think they've locked everything down? Why do you think the church has been locked down and restricted so much? Why do you think they're stopping people meeting? They don't want people to meet together to discuss what's going on. They want it to all move to social media so that all of these discussions can be publicly on social media, so that they can monitor everyone and to see who are the dissenters, to see who is not going with the narrative. And I can tell you now, friends, oh hallelujah, this is what is happening right now, and this is why they have stopped the church. This is why they have shut down the church. They've shut down the church largely, and they are restricting it, and they are causing division. They've got to divide and conquer, you see, and there's so much division now in the church. People who are for and people who are against. People who are asleep and people who are awake. It's not just about a little decision. Some pastors reduce it down to a decision. Or if you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But don't tell each other you shouldn't do it, as though it's some small decision that's being made. No friends, this has global significance, because this is the rollout of a massive tyranny that is coming on the earth. The end game is the passport certificate. And technologically, friends, it will all end up likely as a quantum dot tattoo, which will have the vaccination and the passport all in one, integrated into the skin. I'm not making this up. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I've read all the scientific papers. I know about this. I know what they're doing. Anyone who's got any sense will just begin to do the research and just look and have a look at the science. Look at what is possible today. Minuscule little needles that can go in and administer a vaccine with little to no pain whatsoever. Don't even feel it, because they're microscopic needles that go in, but they also inject an ink. Yeah, so that they can track everyone. Payments, everything will be in there in the end. The first step is the passport. This certificate that gives people freedom, so-called freedom, but it's like a hamster in a cage that runs around on his little wheel. He thinks he's free. Should be running around in the field, free. We're being caged, we're being locked down, and we're being segregated. Society is being segregated, it's being split up so that they can continue with that plan. They don't want people to mass together, to group together, to discuss what might actually be happening. No, they need to keep everyone separated and everyone divided, everyone offended, so that there's no discussion about what's going on, and in the meantime the plan rolls out. And Boris Johnson needs to be called out for who he actually is. He is a liar. He's a liar, and I'm not unrighteous and I'm not unchristian for calling out Boris in this way. He's using Christianity to move the agenda. They always use Christianity to move the agenda. I mean, Adolf Hitler, he used Romans 13 to advance the agenda. They used that in America when Obama came to power. Romans 13. Basically follow the government. Do whatever they say. All taken totally out of context. If you take the Bible from A to B, you can see clearly that this is not the case. They all disobeyed government when the government was behaving immoral. John the Baptist called out the king. He ended up in prison for it. In Acts, Peter and the apostles said that we must obey God rather than any authority, any man-made authority. We have to obey God. They had to silence the church. That's why the church is silenced in communist countries and has been in the past in communist Russia. That's why Christianity was outlawed. That's why Hitler had to round up the Christians and the Jews, because they would understand. They would speak out against the tyranny. They would have some kind of discernment. And now the churches are being used by and large. And Boris thanks the church for being so helpful and so involved. We're going to look back on this day, and I hope many people, when they wake up, will look back on this day. This day that tyranny took over and no one spoke up. There are people speaking up. I know there are pastors. I talk to them. But by and large, where is the church? Where are the Christians? Where are the Christians with any backbone, with any spine? I don't hear them. They don't say anything. They're just silent. Some of the churches, you listen to them online and they just preach like nothing's happening. They just go on with their usual message. There's got to be a voice crying out. I've been crying out this message since 2009, and now I was considered odd. I guess now people think, my goodness me, this guy has really lost it. But I will not remain silent, because I am going to stand before the Lord at the end of time with clean hands. I'm not going to have the blood of anyone on my hands. I did not remain silent. I've given my life over to God and his righteousness, and I can tell you now that a tyranny is unfolding on the earth, the likes of which the planet has never seen. The likes of which the planet has never, ever seen. Because this time it is global. It is global. This is an international situation. And God will not be mocked. Oh no, God will not be mocked. God will not be mocked. And he's waiting for the church to rise up in this hour. He's waiting for the church. Will you not tarry with me for 1 hour? You couldn't just stay awake for 1 hour and pray that you would not fall into temptation? I want to know where they are. Where are the people that I hoped, the people that I expected? Where are they? They're either silent, they know what's going on, or they've been completely deceived. And I don't know what camp these people are in anymore. I don't know whether they believe the whole narrative or whether they're just silent because they're afraid to speak out. Friends, do not fear to speak the truth in this hour. Don't fear losing your position. Don't fear losing your job, your reputation. Jesus didn't fear that. He was of no reputation. It's not good enough to say, I need to make sure that I can feed my children. I need to go to work because I've got to earn a living and blah, blah, blah. No, friends, because this is where the rubber hits the road. Are we prepared to give up everything for Jesus Christ, or are we just messing about with this gospel? And when it really comes to it, no, we just agree with everything the government says. Imagine the Christians agreeing with Herod. Imagine the Israelites agreeing with Pharaoh and believing that everything that he said was great. Oh, a great message, because he mentioned our God. Meanwhile, the tyranny unfolds. There's a great tyranny going on right now. A great tyranny. And this is an affront to God, and it's an affront to the believers who are in this world. And it's not just happening in the UK. Oh no, this is all over. This is all over. We've got the QR codes that are coming out here. People are getting what they need to get so that they can get that QR code so that they can carry on with their jobs. So that they can carry on with so-called freedom. This is not so that they can be free from the pestilence. No, it's so that they can carry on. And nobody asks the question. Nobody says, this is a bit odd, isn't it? This is all about my freedom. Can I travel here? Can I travel there? I need to show my papers now. It's not reminding anyone of anything. The church needs to wake up fast. It's been locked down, it's been restricted, and so many other gathering places have been restricted and locked down because they do not want people to meet and to discuss what is going on. They want it all online, all the discussions online, so that they can pick out the dissenters for a later stage of the game. This is not going to end. This is not going to end like this. It's time for us to wake up, and it's time for those who are silent and who are awake to start shouting it from the rooftops. Because the more silent people are, the more people just are walking around in some kind of delusion. Imagine the response if certain people, key people that we know, started to sound the alarm. It wouldn't just be the ones here and the twos there and the strange guy here. No longer would it be just down to, oh, this is all a conspiracy theory, just to shut the conversation down. It would be like, really? Wow, you think that, do you? Oh, wow, okay, well, I respect you. Oh, yeah. Come on, friends, we can't remain silent forever. People cannot remain silent forever, and maybe there are people that are just deceived. Okay, they need just to get on with it and believe the lies and to follow the narrative and basically do everything that the government tells them to do. That is not the job of the church. Oh no, oh no, oh no. We are supposed to be following God. And his blessing will have to be lifted for the churches that do not listen to Jesus Christ. Because he says, I'm standing at the door and I'm knocking, and if anyone hears my voice, opens the door, I will come in and eat with him and he with me. He will not eat with us if we do not open the door. If we have opened the door to government, if we have opened the door to tyranny, if we have opened the door to the devil, who is the ruler of this age, then he cannot have a meal with us. And we're just playing church. Church is just a game. It's got all of the trappings of Christianity, but has none of its power. None of its power. God is doing something incredible in this day. In the face of absolute tyranny, pockets of people are grouping together, and this is only going to accelerate. It's only going to accelerate. And I had a prophetic word in 2009 which I'll dig out, and I'll put some portions of it on the internet so you can have a look at it. But it was about the great darkness that was coming, and that much would be done in secret and people would go to and fro. God is doing a great thing amidst great darkness. I just want everyone to wake up, and I want the church to be on the right side of history, not the wrong side. I don't want to be like the foolish virgins who had no oil. It's time for us to stop trusting in earthly leaders ever. It's pointless. Democracy really didn't ever exist, and if anyone still believes that it does, there is no point anymore in trusting our leaders. No, we need to trust in God alone. God alone. The system of this world is getting darker and darker and darker. The institutions of this world are getting darker and darker and darker. And they hate the citizens of the earth. They hate the ordinary people. They hate them. They particularly hate the church, because it stands for absolute righteousness and absolute truth. Because they hate God. They are God haters. So they hate anyone who has God in them. Well, friends, I don't want to spend too long, because I know that if the video is too long, then less people watch it. So I just want to bless you, friends. That was just a message on my heart. Really, friends, don't be deceived by our leaders. Don't be deceived. And just, it's time for us to understand what is going on in this day. So God bless you. Love you always, and I'll speak to you again another time. Bye-bye.